What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about something that has come to my attention, basically, as I've looked at some decks that are played, and sort of like how mono mermels were developed, and it kind of got me thinking about how people are like such sheep, like in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like they don't come up with their own deck choices. And I'm not talking about net decking because everyone net decks. You have to do it. Like that's how you get a bare bones skeleton build of a deck that you never played before. You net deck and then you make your own choices. That's what you should do, unless you really like it. I'm just saying, people play a deck competitively without looking into the options of the deck. So they don't even explore the archetype themselves. They just take someone else's word for it that it's good and then play it based on that. I've noticed that with lots of archetypes. Um, like, uh, I could be wrong about the whole history of this mono marble shit. What the hell? Anyways, um, Billy Brake won YCS Miami, didn't win. Third place YCS Miami mono marble deck profile, and I think they were talking about Abystius and how nobody was playing it. And I was like, really? I wasn't playing in that format. I took a break, so that I wasn't playing when that all went down, so I don't know what happened. But nobody was playing Abystius, apparently. That's what they were saying in the video. And that Billy Brake was playing Abystius. And while they were saying that, I was like, wait a minute. Nobody was playing Abystius? It took Billy Brake to play the card? Like, it's kind of a no-brainer. But whatever. That just got me thinking about it. And I noticed that people don't look at the cards in their archetype. They just take what's good, and they might like glance at stuff, and then if no one else plays it, they don't have the validity to continue to use that card. Like if they see a card that looks good to them, they're like, oh, no one else plays that shit. It's probably bad, or it is bad because no one plays it, or because there has to be that downside to it isn't good for the deck because other people said so. So I think it's important to explore the archetype that you're playing. Because every single time I pick a deck, and I see a card that I like, I play that shit. I don't care about anybody else. And I've proven, time and time again, to myself, that the cards are good. In fact, sometimes it's stupid how good they are and nobody looks at it. Speaking of this whole thing, I'll give you two examples of where I looked at a card and was like, what? This card's good as fuck. Why does nobody play this card? The first card is for the Samurai build, and that card is Backs to the Wall. The card is so good. It's so good. I'm gonna read the card for you right here. It's so good for the archetype, and you could it's arguable. You could say it's bad because of the life point thing, but it's sort of like Return from a Different Dimension. And you can see this card in action on one of my Avenger Duels Plays Samurai YouTube video. You can see the card in action, and it wins me the game. It's so good. Okay. Backs to the Wall. Pay 100 life points so that you... Pay life points so that you only have 100 left. Special summon as many 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard as possible. You cannot special summon more than one monster with the same name, or a monster that has the same name as the monster you already control. Don't care. So basically, when you have this card, it's a lot like Return from a Different Dimension. And it's less likely to get MST because you're playing multiple Trap and 6 Samurai. If you're playing a good build. Or a build that plays traps. That card is so good. Pay life points so that you only have 100 left. Who gives a shit? Use it wisely. That's it. It's a trap card. Okay? Use it at your own risk. If your opponent has no spell and trap cards in their spell and trap card zone, and you have Backs to the Wall, and you flip this shit, you can OTK like no other. In my video, I revived Shien, like Kizan, Kagemusha, Kageki all in one turn. note that it doesn't mean it doesn't say attack position. So you can actually save your life by playing this card late game. Let's say you have 5,000 life points and your opponent has 6,600 points of damage on board. You flip back to the wall, you have 100, but then you set all your samurai in defense position and they can't just get past that wall. Next turn you have some monsters on board and you can do stuff. It's so good. It's so good. The cost sucks. But, again, like Return of the Different Dimension, like Soul of Judgment, it's worth it. It's worth playing at 1. So, that's my first example of a card that I think is good. My personal opinion is that it's a good card. Second card, in the Wat archetype. Don't know why nobody that plays Wats plays this shit. It's so good. And that's Wat Lemur. Everyone plays Wat Pheasant as their like 4th Wat, is that right? Wat Giraffe, Wat Dragonfly, Wat Cobra, yeah, 4th. People play Wat Pheasant, which is kind of bad. I mean, it's okay, but I like Wat Lemur. And basically, if you know Wats at all, you know what all those cards do. But basically, Wat Lemur does this. If this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, so no matter what happens to it, if it's face down on the field and it's destroyed, period, by a card effect, by anything, they cannot conduct their battle phase during their next turn. What? That's so good. With Dragonfly set, they attack, and the whole point of Wats is to stall and burn, in some builds anyways. So if you're playing a stall and burn with Wats deck, they attack into your Dragonfly, and then you can summon another Dragonfly, they attack into that Dragonfly, summon another Dragonfly, they attack into that Dragonfly, you can summon Wat Lemur, they attack into Wat Lemur, and then they can't conduct their battle phase during their next turn. So you just absorbed 2 battle phases. So it's giving you pluses, technically. It's giving you more time. So I don't know why people don't play that shit. It's a good card. Another card that a lot of people don't play, and this is taking too long, so I'm just going to say the card. Pinpoint Guard. Just going to point that out. That's a really good card. Anyways, that being said, I think it's important that you people don't give a shit about other people. Like, put other people out of your mind, and then play what you want to play. Because when you look at an archetype, look at the cards in the archetype. Like, go on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, or go on a card database online, and search your archetype name. So, like, if I'm playing Wind Up, I'll search Wind Up, and then look at all the cards. It's important that you do that, and actually read them, and then think about what they can do. What they can do for you. No, but seriously, it's very important in deck building, and it's why people like Billy Brake and deck innovators like Jeff Jones and people like that, they win, at least partially, due to the fact that they know how to deck build. They don't do anything like anybody else. They're just like, okay, I like this card because I am a person and I can like it on my own because I can. So they play that card. That's what we need to start doing if you want to get some actual creative decks and stop being... People need to stop being sheep and playing a card just because somebody else plays it. I mean, I'm not saying that if someone's playing a card, you can't play it. I'm just saying, if you see a card you like, play the shit. It doesn't matter who else is playing it. So I just want to get that out there, get that message out there, that you need to actually explore the archetype, and pick cards that you want to play. That's it, guys. Avenger Duels out.